YouTubers, it's your boy Domination. This is Back in the Basics. Chuck the Deuces, how we do Texas, baby. Again, the all place, old school, all place, go get it. Oh, place go get it. Oh, place go get it. Oh, place go. Let's go get it. It's right back in the basic. Right back to the basic. Man on Douglas back. You know what it is. Know what it is. Real man rise up. Fake man rise down. Real women rise up. Real women rise up. Fake women rise down. Practice where I preach and preach on. And today's topic we're going to talk about is. But you know what? There's a real information in all this. Why the school system is sucked like ass in the toilet seat. The toilet seat without the shit pot, a stain pot. There's a real reason why this stuff. There's a real reason why the government has been collecting funding and about funding with all against the people. There's a reason why people are fucked up as invited, not knighted by people in the system. There's a real reason why men and women are the picking of abandonment of babies. There's a real reason why all this stuff is going on. It's illusional. All this stuff is illusional. What's going on in the white community, Latino, Asian, even the black community. If you don't believe all this stuff is illusion, that it's been people been manipulated out of the bud for so long because they believe in one way and don't believe about the other. See, most people think in the box. That's fine, but you ever think outside? You need to think outside of the box. Look around you, and instead of above you, look around you. Why this stuff is happening? If you don't check this video out, and it will all explain to you why this stuff was going on, why we having problems that we have today. But here's the video. I hope you listen to it. I hope you watch it. By this guy's name is Black Truth Forever. Shout out to that brother because this guy was on point right here. I watch his videos quite sometimes. But listen to this video right here because he might have something to say. And it explains to you it's all illusion why black men and black women act this way and how we get out of it. Of a lot of sleeping sheeples about to be led to the slaughter the sheep, and sheep out of their clothing and slaughtered with no sheep. We got to get out of this situation we're in. If nothing else, all hell or all praise for it, or no praise at all for it. Some got to take care of it. I don't know who else. No one else but us will. Here it is. Here's the video.
I really shouldn't do this, but I got no choice. In my last video, I touched upon white-owned media websites cranking out the anti-black propaganda. Naturally, NBC's duplicitously named The Grio came up on my radar. These guys have never had anything good to say about black men, and this latest salvo was no exception. But this time they went so far over the edge, I had to check myself to see whether I was still on planet Earth. Well, I am, though I'm not sure where these guys are. Black male privilege. Are you insane? That is a total contradiction in terms. Black men are the first to be arrested, first to be convicted, last to be paroled, and the last to be hired. Black men die from stress-related maladies far earlier than black women and are the victims of violent crime on a scale that black women can't even imagine. Black male privilege is the kind of crazy talk black feminists like to do when they scapegoat black men for our people's condition. Now, the guy who wrote this litany of lies is clearly panty begging for some easy drawers, and as we all know, the fastest way to get this generation of females into bed is to just tell them what you know they want to hear. By the way, ladies, a real man leads his woman. If he's patronizing her, then he's following her lead. This guy is not a real man. In fact, he's not a man at all. Unfortunately, he is what black women want today. The problem in black society is that black men are not in charge of our community. We are a full-fledged matriarchy, which is just another way of saying failure. This is because women don't build. That's not meant to be nasty. It's just a fact. And this is why we are fighting a losing war for our survival. What we need is a righteous resurgence of black masculinity. I'm talking about steel-spined, rock-ribbed, iron-jawed, fire-breathing men. And that brings us to the first point of black female privilege. The black woman's heaven is the black man's hell. 45 years ago, black women discovered their inner slut and have been flying through life with their legs wide open ever since. This behavior, coupled with their choosing to reject black male leadership, resulted in an entire generation of black women being single mothers with no support. This was the fall of black America. But that's okay, because white males came to the rescue in the form of a handful of token corporate jobs and a ton of government jobs. And when that wasn't enough, they created a mountain of government programs: welfare, food stamps, WIC, SSI, Section 8 housing, all available almost exclusively to black women. A disproportionate number of black men in jail today are there because a black woman informed on them, accused them of a crime, or got them for child support. Then these same black women have the nerve to join white America in the refrain that so many black men are in jail. Oscar Grant is handcuffed and murdered in front of hundreds of observers. Amadou Diallo is gunned down for showing his wallet. Marquise Hudspeth is murdered for having a cell phone. These men never laid a finger on a cop, but the very fact they were black men cost them their lives. Meanwhile, black women are free to attack the police as a gang, and all they get is arrested, not murdered. To be an honorary member of the oppressor class. That's black female privilege. 50% of black women over age 19 have an STD. 70% are single, 80% are overweight or obese, but 100% of them say not all black women are like that. That's black female privilege. Speaking of STDs, black women have made a culture out of being fast in the ass. They think risky sexual behavior is cute, so they seek out thugs and criminals who have been in and out of prison where they've gotten STDs. This is why the STD rate among black women is more than double what it is among men. Yet black women are allowed to get away with inventing fairy tales about an epidemic of down-low black men who are getting all these innocent virgin black women diseases. And whenever anyone points out that black women lead the league in STDs, we all have to pretend that we don't know why this is. That is black female privilege. Black women can engage in any level of self-hate they want, and they are praised for it. That's black female privilege. Kim Kardashian has been seriously involved with 4 men, all but one of them black. She has had one child by one man, the one she's with now, who is her husband. But Kim is a total slut. Halle Berry has been involved with numerous men: a Chicago dentist, Dave Justice, Christopher Williams, Wesley Snipes, Eric Benet, Michael Ealy, Gabriel Autry, and most recently Oliver Martinez. She's been married 3 times, 4 if you consider her common-law marriage with Autry. Speaking of which, Autry was one of Berry's 2 baby daddies. Oliver Martinez is the father of baby number 2. You know, 60% of black women who have multiple children got them by multiple fathers, too. But Halle Berry is considered a class act, not a slut like Kim Kardashian. That's black female privilege. A black man who can't afford to support his children is a deadbeat dad who gets thrown in jail and is denied the right to see his own children. A black woman who can't afford to support her kids gets automatic sympathy. Then she gets a free government check and housing, which enables her to have more children she can't afford. Bastard babies on the taxpayer's dime. That's black female privilege. Black female privilege means never having to say you're sorry. A black man with no job is a loser. A black woman with no job is the backbone of the community, especially if she has a lot of kids. That's black female privilege. A black man with STDs, multiple children by multiple women, no job, bad manners, and delusions of entitlement is called worthless. A black woman with all those things is called a queen. No matter how bad a shape she's in, a black woman is always considered a great catch. Just ask Usher. And the first time things don't go her way, or the instant she decides she's bored and blows up the marriage, well, it's automatically his fault. That's black female privilege. Black women call a good man boring and then say that's why they choose to have children by thugs and losers, as if it justifies that kind of a stupid choice. You know, we don't let children get out of their homework just because they say it bores them, nor do we let grown men get out of working for a living because they say their job bores them. But all black women have to do is say good guys bore them, and society trips over its own feet to blame the good guys and not all these bad girls. That is black female privilege. A man who doesn't meet black women's absurd demands is told by black women that he needs to man up. But black women are never told to be a woman. In fact, there's no standard for what constitutes black womanhood at all. So every black woman pats herself on the back for being a real woman, whatever that is. That is black female privilege. President Obama stood in a church and lied through his teeth that all the bastard black babies were solely created by black men, when in fact we all know that 80% of the women are getting themselves knocked up by only 20% of the men. But he, the most powerful man on the planet, was terrified to tell black women this simple truth. Instead, he gave the same old pandering speech telling black women their favorite lie, that black men are the reason we have so many illegitimate babies. And nobody, absolutely nobody in the media said a word to the contrary. That's black female privilege. Black men have to be 3 times more qualified than everyone else to get a halfway decent job, to get into a mediocre college, or even to get a loan. All a black woman has to do most of the time is just show up. That's black female privilege. Black female privilege is when corporate America puts its power behind propaganda campaigns geared towards telling you only what you want to hear. Hollywood studios put out movie after movie meant to make you feel better about every rotten choice you keep making. You see, puff pieces like the one the Griot ran are put on mainstream corporate-funded websites. When the broadcast media runs a story about single black women, they have black women, white men, or white women report the story. Never a black man. The only time anyone challenges this are on private websites or social media platforms like YouTube. No corporate money here. They promote what black women want to hear and censor what black women don't want to hear. When those who shape the culture help you psychologically masturbate, that's black female privilege. Every time black people get together, nobody mentions how black boys have been utterly eradicated from the school system. Meanwhile, if someone even whispers, "Black girls rock," we all have to stand up and cheer, even though we don't know what we're cheering for. That's black female privilege. When a pastor in church ignores the bastard children in his pews, ignores the fact that most of his congregation are single mothers, ignores the pregnant teenage daughters he sees, ignores how the women come into the house of God still wearing the same clothes they'd had on at the club a few hours earlier, when he twists every verse in the Bible to make it seem that God himself co-signs black women's whorish behavior, that is black female privilege. Black women control the vast majority of black households, yet they give the black families money to people who hate us. And worse than that, they start no businesses. But no one ever blames them for our being impoverished. That's black female privilege. If a black man marries an ordinary white woman, it's because he's a sellout who is deliberately passing over all these good black women out here. A black woman marries an ordinary white man, and she's a strong, independent woman who is justifiably exploring her options because there's no good black men. That's black female privilege. And speaking of money, black men earn more weekly than black women, yet all we ever hear is how black women earn more than black men in some cities. And the media repeats this nonsense as if there was something valid about it. That's black female privilege. When a black child commits a crime, nobody ever asks where his mother was. That's black female privilege. And on the off chance that somebody does, all she has to say is, "The daddy abandoned me," and no one will ever ask whether the father truly ran off or whether she got the cops and the courts to run him off. That's black female privilege. A black woman supports the genocide of black babies, and she's a hero for black women. Black women do ghetto gagger videos degrading themselves beyond all human belief, and nobody says a word. That's black female privilege. But perhaps the worst aspect of black female privilege is that you can deny having it. Black women have been so coddled and supported by white power that today they can honestly say that their biggest problem in life isn't that they're black, but rather that they're female. No black man has ever or could ever say that. No black man has ever had the luxury of being able to escape his color, not for 1 second, even in his own imagination. But now pretty much every black woman in America has. The worst thing you can be in American society is black, but today black women have the privilege of being able to deny they're privileged. Only one other group in America can say that: white males. They know their gender victimhood is more or less a lie, but they also know white power has been their lifeline. Black women have carried water for white power for 5 decades now, so they know, even if only instinctively, that they can't stop now. Where would they be without all those white government programs, or those token corporate jobs white men gave them? As an example, remember that Nightline ABC hit piece that came out years ago? Lindsay Davis told lie after lie about how black women were just so successful, and she used these 4 black women to do it. Out of the 4 women she profiled, 2 of them worked for the government, and none of them owned their own business. They all worked for white men in some capacity or another. She also tells a total bald-faced lie, where she tries to make it sound like black men as a group are almost totally unsuitable for marriage.
Let's take 100 black men. If you eliminate those without a high school diploma, those without a job, and the number of black men between the ages of 25 and 34 who are incarcerated, that leaves only about half of black men eligible to pop the question.
There goes that black female privilege again. Where is it written that a woman can't pop the question? Ladies, it is exactly this perverted sense of entitlement that is the reason men aren't asking your hand in marriage. Somewhere along the line, you took up this attitude that black men owe you something. Well, I got news for you. Black men don't owe you anything. In fact, you're the ones who owe us. This is the 21st century, and it's way past time you started doing your fair share of the marriage proposals. After all, as the Bible says, you have not because you ask not. But there's a lot else wrong with Lindsay Davis's propaganda piece. But she doesn't eliminate the black women who are in prison, have STDs, are lesbians, already have children, have no education, no job, are overweight, or have a stank attitude. The truth is, it's black men who have few prospects when it comes to marrying inside their race. As a black woman, reality is optional, so you can choose to believe whatever you want because you're insulated from the consequences of your actions and from any criticism. When you fail, somebody else is forced to pick up the tab. When you screw up, you get praised. Tell a lie and the media will repeat it as though it were gospel truth. When you hurt the community, somebody else gets blamed. Society, the media, and the political establishment have decided to give you a pass on everything for life. As a result, your entire community becomes a living human sacrifice on the altar of your vanity. Meanwhile, you're smiling, having sex with lowlifes, and telling yourself that you're God's gift while your own children die all around you. You don't know how much damage you've done, and even if you did, you wouldn't give a damn. That is black female privilege.
You know what? I hope y'all enjoyed that video, man. But that brother right there, he on to something, man. I am sick and tired of seeing this in my community. I really am. Not only for sick and tired of seeing it from black men, but also for black women as well. I said I never in my life, I never heard that from other race of women. I never heard white women say that, oh, I can't find me a good white man. How many times you fellas heard that? How many times any other woman, sisters? How many times y'all heard that? White women. How many times y'all hear it? Y'all never say it. Asian women don't say about their man. Middle East women don't say about their man. Latino women don't say about their men. None of these race of women say about their men. Who the only race of women be the first one in line to say there's no men or men around they can get? It's our women. Yes. It's illusional. That's all it is. All this stuff they push in this agenda right in our face, and we gotta accept it. I never forget when I was at Walmart. This sister could not believe that me and my brother didn't have any kids, but our daughter had kids. I told her I want to have kids, but only the kids I'm going to have by the same woman. It's bad enough as it is that every other man can lead in his community. White guys, Latino guys, Asian guys, Middle East guys, every other race of men who can lead. But only group of men who not leading is black men. They are the ones are not going to lead. And that's fucked up as it is. Who lead in the black community? Black women, all women. They're the ones having babies. But black men, we can blame women all we want. We got to blame ourselves too. It takes two people to blame to fall the hold accountable. Black men, y'all created fetishism. Y'all got to be the one who end this shit once and for all. I'm going to call this shit until this shit reveal and not prevail itself. I get tired of seeing this. These articles, the Jerry Springer shows, the Maury, Ricky Lake, all this shit. Having a black president thought it was something, and you got a man is afraid to speak about racism, but also had the nerve to try to say black men need to take care of the children, which I agree with him. But why he ain't talk about the women got to play the part too? No, he ain't gonna talk about that. See, that tell you right there. See, brothers like him and the rest are the ones gonna get attacked. Those type. That too laced, too uptight and pain in the neck, pain out of the ass. Dumb type. This is why I'm gonna use karate class martial arts to defend myself. But see, I'm gonna tell you like this. They don't mind, you know, that they complain about these type of men, but these are the men that women love to complain about. They be the first one give their body and soul them into these men. They must have loved these men, otherwise they wouldn't have nothing to complain. They look at these other men doing something, why their man ain't doing nothing. Because he ain't going to never be that man. Every man is different. Every woman is different. But you know what? That it's illusion. It's pushing this agenda. Like we gotta force to reinforce it and unforce it if this is what it's supposed to be. No, it's not. They held praise. I mean, they God praise on black women, but they held praise on black men at the same time. That explains why black men don't go to church. It's illusional, man. We've been manipulated for so long, for many years. I wish that black men need to wake up, even sisters, but it would never be. Never. We're in a terrible mind state as it is. It's sad. No other group doing this shit but our people. Our people only one. If it ain't black men be the ones who doing this type of shit, it be black women the one doing this type of shit. I think it's black men and black women are the ones that's fucked up. Everybody got to take responsibility and take something back. Cause I am getting tired of this. These images, how they betrayed. Have you ever noticed when Red Tails first came out, everybody criticized that movie? Not because there was black pilots up in there and inspire other people to be black pilots. Not because they was out there killing in the war and war spirit, a kill of the war of the battlefield. It's because they criticized that movie because they did not put black women pilots, and it's because they don't have a best love interest to a black man with love interest to his own women. He have a love interest to any other women, but that's how it was. Black women would do the same thing. But why is it that they always concerned about black men who he's fucking with, but any other sister, if she fuck with any other woman, they wouldn't concern about that. To me, that's just wrong. Now, I don't have against sisters date interracial dating as long as you do it for love. But but you can't sit there and say you got somebody and he can't. Come on, If anybody can get somebody, then anyone get someone. If nobody can't get nobody, no one can, because it don't make no right. I feel like this, man. This started way back in the early 70s, late 70s. That's where this problem got started. Back then, it was the black men in the 40s and 50s that were in the home. But then when welfare came in, the welfare, real estate welfare, that's when fuck everything up. So they giving women free housing, free rent, free cars, all that stuff. But as long as they don't got no man in the home. So if a man push himself or put out of himself, or his woman do it, or the kids, or got himself to blame. I mean, it's sad, but it is what it is. This is why I ain't got no kids. As long as I get a car, as long as I do what I'm supposed to do and all that, then I get children. I have sex with a woman, but I will never bring a baby in the world. Fellas, if you lay down over a woman, chances are you're going to produce a baby. Just like a man got to control his sperm, women got to control their sprouts. I mean, it's sad. It's sad that what's going on, that we don't want to take the time and the reason and ask ourselves why this stuff is happening. We got to keep asking ourselves. I get tired of looking at the bullshit shows, The Game and Real Husband on fucking Hollywood. That's another bullshit show. That's another bullshit. These black men are scared as hell. Look like fucking cowards. But why is it that if a white guy, he'll give a silver display of swordsman, he'll stick it right in the man's the gut and replicating the blood out of the guts out of his waistline and the waist abandonment. Why is that? But some odd reason, every black man wears a dress at some point in the fucking movies. If he ain't wearing no dress, or he get shot in the ass, or died in a fucking horror movie. Just like black women always playing single mothers by choice, or they playing the fucking mammy, or man taking care of other women's kids instead of taking care of her own. Then you got women always playing to being the damn desperate depresization of women. Just like that bullshit show Scandal. I did not like that fucking show. If it was a black woman married marry a white guy, that's different. But they making black women being whorish to marry messing with a married white man. But let it be a black man mess with a married white woman. I guarantee you black women and white guys have something to say. And I know. I live in America. But why is that? This is nothing new. Black men been fucking with white women for many years in slavery trade off the slavery. Black women been fucked with white men for so long. It's that they used to sneak in bars and out of bars and being raped and being ridiculed and sexually accused by these goddamn white males. White guys were the original baby daddy before black men started doing it. Let's not be easy, but nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to talk about that for some odd reason, and you won't hear that from black women. Oh, hell no. They'll make it seem it's just brothers. Because if we got to go there, we got to start talking about all. Just like white women. White women no different too. White women can be the biggest sluts women out there, and she can have sex 5 or 6, 7, 8 football teams and get respected. But when a black woman do it, she get all kinds of whore, all kinds of names. She's a video whore, video vixen, bitch, all that shit. Two wrongs does make it right, but two rights doesn't make it wrong. I'm going to tell you this. I think we need to change why this stuff is going on and destroy this illusion of pushing out agenda, why this agenda being pushed and shoving this around and shoved down our back in our throats, and we got to accept it. I'm not accepting this fucking agenda. I'm not going to be no fucking baby daddy. Fuck being a baby daddy. I'd rather be a fucking husband and rather have a wife. If I can't get my own, I can get it everywhere else. If I can't get it everywhere else, I ain't gonna get none at all. It is really sad, but you can't point no finger on the women. You can't put no finger on the blame on the man of society. It just happened when it should not happen, or it shouldn't happen in the first place. Fuck this shit. And I think when we're gonna say is stand up and say enough is enough. But sooner or later we're gonna have more than enough and less than enough. And that's all I gotta say about that, all right? All right, it's your boy Domination. That's the back of the basic chuckle the deuces how we do Texas, baby. Until next time, all right? All right, peace, and I'm out.